welcome to Two Guys Garage. We're about to kick off an engine project. Before we do, we're gonna get a little organized, which somehow means we're gonna get dirty.
Exactly. We're gonna do some back to the basic fab work using some stuff you'll find in and around your shop.
That's right, we got some cool tools, but we're gonna try to weave in things that you can do at home to get organized, place to put the cylinder heads and parts. Stick around.
All right, Kev, what do you think just for general layout? Because I know there's been so many times when I've disassembled a motor, I'm hunting for the water pump, I'm hunting for all the accessories and so forth.
Yeah, no, it's general practice to maybe have like a build cart. You know, you got a bunch of shelves and you can wheel it in, but I'm thinking, like you mentioned, like an envelope, you know, so it kind of comes up and over. We build some shelves for all different stuff. We've got a big one on the top, but this guy could push right underneath, right? So everything's contained and out of the way. How's that?
I like it. Tall enough for an intake or a blower or something.
Blower,
place
I like
for the
that.
heads, rods, all your accessories, belts, bolts, everything.
All right, so we'll have to think through some of the little details, like, you know, hooks, you know, maybe rubber coated for the connecting rods. You know, some buckets to hold bolts, things
heavy
like
brackets
that.
for the heads and so forth.
All right, let me start sketching some things out. Why don't you give me some overall dimensions and we'll get that frame started. So, thinking somewhere about like this. We want to make sure, you know, in case we put a blower on there, that we got plenty of room.
How about at the top, about 56 inches or so?
Okay. And let's see, we need something across this way.
How about we go in the ballpark of 40, 41 inches?
40 inches that way.
There's plenty of room to get it out, plenty of room to put our shelves.
Okay. All right, so that'll be a good frame. And then we can do things like add some hooks, you know, for connecting rods, maybe a nice flat shelf to stick a cylinder head on there, you know.
You're missing the most important thing.
What's that?
Cup holder.
Cup holder, I like it. All right, maybe we throw a cup holder, a couple of bends. You can throw a bunch of odds and ends in there. What you said, removable shelf?
Yeah, so we can take it off, take it with us on the build or whatever. I like it.
Okay, let's get started on that frame. We can work out the nitty gritty as we go.
All right, now here's the leg for the base of our cart. Most people aren't fortunate enough to have a code saw in their garage. There you go, Kev.
Smoking.
Most of us have a chop saw with a metal cutting blade on it. Obviously ours is a little worn out, a little small. Always remember when you're using one of these, wear safety glasses. They throw shrapnel, debris, sparks, and little things that sting. All right, what do we got?
All right, man, how about a couple of shorties at 3 inches?
Gotcha.
All right, so this is kind of laying out the base. The engine itself on its stand is going to kind of wheel in and out of here like so. And what we're going to do, this is upside down. We're going to throw some casters on the back corners. And, oh, sweet, man. We're going to throw some little stubbies on the front. So, you know, obviously when it's sitting right side up, you got wheels on one side. These are going to keep it from scooting around, but all we got to do is just lift it up a little bit. It'll roll around the shop. When we set it down, be nice and firm. All right, so we're gonna flip it over in a little bit, but we're gonna start doing all the vertical pieces, a couple of the tops, so a lot of tube cutting. All right, cleaning up all the burrs on the tubing. I like to do the inside and the outside. If you look at this guy, you got all these nice snaggly burrs. You know, when you come by and wipe with a rag, you know, you're gonna use something like a paint thinner and get all the oils and some of this black coating off. You don't want that rag snagging on those little burrs. Now you got rag there to burn when you go to weld. So cleaning everything up is really nice. You can come back with, you know, a Scotch-Brite pad, and you can knock that black off pretty easily. So we're gonna get all these tubes prepped and clean, and we're ready to start throwing them up on the welding table, stick them together.
Last one of these. Okay, so check this out, Kev. You know, on the bottom, we just doing butt welds. So it's okay, but when you want a professional look, you want the edges closed up, a little cleaner look, you want to do some 45s like this, and that way when we put the top and the front together, it's gonna give that closed off look. A little cleaner fit, finish, and whatnot. And then we're gonna go to the shells, which I gotta tell you, I saw something in the back. I think you're gonna love it. All right?
Yeah, what do you got?
It's a surprise. I'll go get them for you, but they're gonna make awesome shells.
I like good ideas, so we're gonna let Willie take off on that. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna fire up the MIG and we're gonna fire up the TIG. Stick around.
This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by You Coat It, do-it-yourself floor coatings for a durable protective finish.
Hey, welcome back. Now we've got our uprights fixtured here. I've got this side clamped down. I got my square in here, got everything in 90. I'm ready to start MIG welding. Let me walk you through a little bit if you've never seen one before. Now MIG welder's great. In here I've got a big spool of wire, and once I pull this trigger, wire comes out. That's great. I've got two dials here typically. One is how fast that wire comes out. The other is how much heat, how much current is going through there. So between the two, I can really dial in, my weld characteristics based on thickness of the material, how deep a penetration I want. So there's a lot of adjustability with just those two knobs. Now there's usually a chart on the inside there, and if you, maybe somewhere on the outside too. So we got a chart in here, it'll get you kind of started based on the thickness. But the best thing to do, get yourself a piece of scrap, about the same thickness as what you're gonna be welding on, start playing around. So let's start cold. Let's throw a little bead on there. All right, you can tell just by the sound, that's no good. Look at that guy just sitting on there. So we're gonna turn the heat up a little bit more. Still not so good, but if I can hold it up for the camera there, you can kind of see how it's starting to, penetrate a little bit, but it's still pretty proud. I'm gonna go ahead and crank this guy up. And it's a little bit better. You can hear it, it sounds more like frying bacon, it's a little more consistent. We'll go ahead and crank this guy all the way to the last bit, and we'll get started. Now, I've got this thing, like I said, 90 degrees, it's ready to go. But if I just start welding on it, anywhere where you're putting a lot of heat, you've got, molten metal. When it cools, it's gonna start to shrink. Doesn't matter where you put it, you're gonna shrink as it cools down. So if I throw a big weld in here, this is just gonna close in on me. Well, I don't want that. I want to clamp it nice. I want to fixture it nice. Anything to kind of hold it in place, but it's still going to want to spring once I pull it out of the fixture. So one thing you can do, let me find sort of a neutral surface. Maybe I'll throw a tack up here. Maybe I'll throw a tack on the back. Start locking it down so everything is kind of holding good. Throw some tacks on the corners, on the insides. Leave this guy alone. Then maybe I'll come over here, set this side up. Tack it real nice so everything's kind of held, but I haven't thrown a ton of heat at it. I can do that with all my assemblies. Get them all kind of tacked together, then I can slowly build it all together, tack it all. Now I can start running little stringer beads, but I want to space them out so no area gets really too hot at one point. So it all kind of moves a little bit, moves a little bit, moves a little bit, moves a little bit. But in the end, it's all kind of settled, kind of right where I want it. So let me get some tacks on this guy and keep on moving. All right, welcome back. Now we got the frame pretty much coming together. Everything stayed nice and square. So this is the gist of, everything we're gonna start hanging onto this guy. We got some wheels and little feet to kind of throw onto the bottom, but I think she's ready to start adding accessories.
All right, speaking of accessories, here's what I got, bro.
Uh-oh, what do you got?
All right, so I saw these back there in the back, right? I figured these would make pretty cool shells. Some people may have some old headers laying around, so we just bolted through the flange, put a piece of wood right here, countersink the bolts, and here's your cylinder head bolt, right?
Dude, I love that idea, except these are for that Camaro project.
What?
Yeah, the 78 Camaro, throwing some headers on it, some exhaust, and...
Well, see, I already cut, see, look.
All right, well, apparently we're gonna put this Camaro project on hold.
Yeah, see? That way it's symmetrical.
All right, seeing as how we can get another set of headers, and I like the idea, let's roll with it.
Come on, you can't, everybody's gotta have headers on the side of their engine.
Yeah, just not the ones we were gonna use on the project. All right, why don't you knock that finish off so we can get a good weld. We'll get that new flange you may put on there.
Yeah.
We'll get some crossbars and, I don't know, maybe a piece of wood so it doesn't scratch a cylinder head.
Coolest cylinder head shell ever.
All right, giddy up. All right, we've got a deep dive look at the all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive systems and the GMs like the Envoy and the Trailblazers. Pretty cool stuff, you know. This is your front diff. So you got power coming in here via, you know, drive shaft. Now it's going to split and put power to both wheels. Now these are CV axles because of their front wheels. They've got to go up and down. They've got to turn. Now if you're sort of getting some bad noises, maybe some, you know, jumping or locking up in turns, it's probably this guy right here. So you need to replace this unit or rebuild it. What's nice is ATP's got a whole reman. This is put together by their division of Driven Products, and it's ready to go in. There's no core charge. You can sell off all the old parts, make a few bucks, put this guy in and you're ready to go. Now you've got a CV coming out one side, you've got an oil pan sitting here, so there's actually a drive shaft going through the oil pan, which is kind of unique. It's a pretty neat system. Well, on the other side, you've got your disconnect. This is actually going to disconnect from your all-wheel drive, two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. So you've got power coming in, and you've got this little fork mechanism, and I'm going to actuate it here. So this guy will actuate. Check out these teeth, they'll engage right over here. Now you've got power coming out the other side of that axle. Well, you can imagine these guys can go bad too. Well, they're not made at the dealer anymore. You can't buy them. So ATP also makes a brand new unit. They're not remanned. You can pick them up. So any of the driveline issues you got on your four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, the guys at ATP will hook you up, ready to get down the road again.
All right, so a lot of us may own a plasma cutter in our garage, kind of a cool tool to have, but this is a big step above. It's a CNC plasma table. And as you know, in our engine envelope here, we're gonna have a brace that comes across here. We're gonna hang a little box on it, put in our accessories, spark plugs, push rods, whatever you may need. Now, how does that box or shelf get built? Pretty simple with this little program. Thing seems intimidating at first, but once you get in the seat of it, it's not so bad. All right, we'll start out with a 26-inch square. That's what we have right here. So then you grab this rectangle, pull it over this way, make sure the lines overlap. Grab this square here, line it up there, and this square over here on the right, line it up there. And you want to highlight the entire thing like this. And basically, you run up here and you hit weld. What that does, it takes out all the lines, and that's your program. So what's going to happen here is when it cuts this out, we're going to take the brake and bend this. That's going to actually fold over the brace right here. And then this is going to become the back wall of our box. It folds in like this. This is our front wall of the box, so it folds up like this. And these are our two ends, closing it up. And that's how easy it is to draw one, and this is the actual one we're going to build. So when you go to build it, it's really simple. Go up here, hit play, give me an okay. And there it goes. And it's that easy. Here it is, hot off the press. Put it in a brake, do a few bends, weld it up, and this is gonna become our engine envelope box. Pretty cool.
Now when we come back, we're going to do some TIG welding tips, so stick around.
All right, welcome back to TwoGuysGarage. Kev working on our engine envelope. Here's what I got. I found some metal stock in the back and some mall threads. So what I did basically just get a couple holes, center it up, and I took it and put it at an angle, tack the back of it, so we have rod and piston holders. Nice. So see when you get that on the shelf, it's just a slight angle so you won't knock off the rods and pistons.
That's right, man.
Figure we can put it right on the outside of the box like this, and I'll find some fuel line in the back, cover up these threads so it won't hurt the bearings. Now we got a place for all of our rods and pistons on both
nice
sides.
soft surface to hang the rod, whether it's the big end, the piston hanging down, or the small end. Perfect place to put those pieces. Now we got a few more goodies. So this is the other side header.
Right.
Willie cut this down nice, so it's about the same sort of width as the other side. Got a flange cut out here. We've already got our mounting holes. That'll get welded on there like that. Then this whole assembly, we can bolt onto a crossbar anywhere we want. Lay a nice piece of wood here that's soft so it won't scratch the cylinder head surface. So
nice place to hang all of our cylinder heads.
Coolest cylinder head shelf ever.
So why don't we go start making that.
You start the box.
All right, I'm gonna handle the TIG part over here. This is our bend. Got the ends sort of pretty close to where we can start to tack weld those and weld them up. Now what we're gonna do is set this aside. It's gonna hang right in here somewhere. A little 1x1, this will hook in. When we're ready to carry it off, go load it up. Well, let's start with some basics, show you a little bit about aluminum TIG welding, so let me get this thing set up. All right, I think I got the heat just about right. Now your max amperage is going to be set on the dial, but everything below that or up to that point is with your foot. So you're changing the current, you're changing the heat, you can dial that thing in just right. You've got your tungsten making the arc, you got your rod putting the filler in. Now with aluminum, there's a few things to consider. It's very sensitive to dirt, debris, and oil. So clean your parts really well. Get yourself a nice stainless brush, write aluminum only on it, and only use it to clean your aluminum parts with. All right, next thing is gaps. I'm gonna get Willie over here to give me a hand real quick. Now I could put a bead, right down in here where it's touching really well, and then hammer for him, close these gaps up and keep working my way up. But I'm gonna have him go ahead and close that gap because aluminum really likes to kind of melt and fall away from each other. So if you can get a good tight gap, it's gonna really save you some effort. All right. Okay, just got a little blob on there to hold the part together. And what I can do is go around, tack the whole thing, then run some stringers. Now, a good tip, if I started here and welded this direction, by the time I got to here, I'm gonna be so saturated with heat, it's just gonna blow away and fall apart. So once everything's cool, I may come in here and start a little weld bead here, then I can go either direction and I'll be set. So let me get this thing tacked, welded, we got another one coming, we got a tray, we got a lot of welding to do, bringing this thing together.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show, check out speed.com or visit TwoGuysGarage.com. Finding oil spots in your driveway is always frustrating. But before you can fix the problem, you need to know where the leak is coming from. Check under the vehicle and look for oil residue and dirt that's caked up around the area where the engine and transmission meet. If you find any residue, there's probably a leak in your rear main seal. Most main seal leaks are caused by age or high mileage. The fix can be expensive and time-consuming if you have to pull the transmission, like in a rear-wheel drive car. Before you go that route, try a bottle of Bars Leak's rear main seal repair. Add the entire bottle to your oil, and most leaks stop within 100 miles or 2 days of driving. It will also stop leaks in your timing cover, cam seals, and other hard-to-find leaks. This tip is brought to you by Bars Leaks, affordable solutions to expensive automotive repairs.
Hey, welcome back to the Parts Counter. We got some cool stuff from Custom Auto Sound.
That's right, this is their secret audio, SRMS. What's awesome about this thing is you can hide it anywhere. Under your seat, in the trunk, you name it. You got a remote control up to 40 feet away. You can dial in your tunes.
And it does anything and everything a modern radio wants to do. It has an interface for your iPod, has USB ports, MP3 players, WMA flashport drive. It's awesome.
That's right, and it's got 200 watts sitting in there ready to crank those speakers up.
And you can control it from 40 feet away. Pretty cool stuff from Custom Auto Sound.
Yeah. From Seafoam Sales, it's Bugs Be Gone.
Yeah, it's a multi-purpose cleaner. It works on just about anything. You're looking at light oil stains, pet stains, carpet, mold, mildew. Gets rid of all of it.
Yeah, but as the name says, Bugs Be Gone, it's great for bugs. Spray it on, we're collecting them all over the roads, all over your windshield, all over your bumper. Spray it on, less than 60 seconds, they're ready to just melt right off.
Yeah, it's biodegradable, it's non-abrasive, it's water activated, and it works just on about any surface possible.
Totally environmentally friendly and safe for all these surfaces, right? Your paint, your chrome, your fabrics, your Lexan, your plexiglass, everything from bugs, brake dust, you name it,
Works
and you
on
know what?
cameras too, get bugs.
That's right.
Yeah, get out of here, bug.
Seafoam Sales.
What's up, bug?
Bugs Be Gone.
And now SAS Safety Corporation brings us Light Crafters magnification eyewear complete with LED lights. And I gotta tell you, these things come in crazy handy.
Yeah, you know what? I thought a flashlight on its own was really cool
Right.
until I needed both hands. Anytime you're doing detail work and you need some light these really come in handy, whether it's down here or up above you, like doing some exhaust.
Right, I was doing my dash the other day, doing some wiring, had crimpers in one hand, butt connector in the other, couldn't see anything, would have killed for a pair of these.
Yeah, and what's also neat, these are adjustable so you can target the light.
Nice.
They also come with magnification from 1.5 to 3 times. And for us experienced guys, maybe some bifocal lenses.
Experienced guys, yeah.
That's right.
All right, SAS Safety Corporation, Light Crafters, Magnification Eyewear.
You know, one of our favorite tools around the shop is the Metal Rescue Rust Remover Bath from Workshop Hero.
Yeah, man, put up the grinding wheels, put up the wire wheels, time to get dirty, all that's done with this stuff. Literally, its steps go soak, check, and then rinse.
You know
it's
what?
that easy.
I don't know if check is really a step. I
It's
call
a-
that half a step.
Yeah.
So 2.5 steps, man.
Exactly. Check this out. You can leave it for a couple of hours. You can leave it overnight if it's really rusty. And here's what you get. Look at this. It literally just tears that rust away.
Yeah, but it's environmentally friendly, it's biodegradable, it won't tear up your hands or paint or seals.
Yeah.
It just attacks the iron oxide. Really neat stuff, so you can soak and rinse, and then you can come over here and put a little bit of dry coat on it. Just wet it, it'll dry.
Yep.
You can sit parts on the shelf for up to 2 years and the rust won't come back.
Literally, it's safe on everything except for rust.
Cool product, Metal Rescue. It's from Workshop Hero.
Amen. And look
know
at
what?
this.
This is payoff time, man. We've been working on this thing all day.
Yeah.
Check it out. Everything you need for an engine build right here.
Right, man. Up here, you can throw your intake, your fuel rails, your valve covers, big bin up here. Then we have our shelf for our cylinder heads, and back here, a bin for any kind of accessory we want, from spark plugs to push rods and whatever.
That's right, man. Check this out. This will lift up, take it away. We recess the screw so nothing to scratch the cylinder head. That's right. All nice rubber surfaces so you can hang your pistons and rods.
Nice.
Good job, and we can customize this thing any way we want in the future. Add a tray for spark plugs, push rods,
And
you name it.
cup holder.
Maybe 2.
Yes.
All right. Well, that was a good project. Hope you guys learned a little bit, enjoyed it, maybe got a few good ideas, but we're out of time, man.
All right, build you one of these. We gotta go.
See ya.